it be that the spiritual community is being deceived into focusing energy and feeding political gains? Could it be that political parties are just puppets of the elite in a well-planned wrestling game? Could it be a magician's trick, a psychopath's manipulation, a masquerade, a smokescreen? Could it be yet another veil? Could it be another way to perpetuate the fights and reinforce the matrix? Could it be yet another game to keep us away from the truth of what really matters? Could it be another propaganda to push division and polarity? Could it be that they are tricking us to look outside ourselves for the leader and for the savior? Could it be that they are attempting to misguide us into forgetting that we have the power? Could it be that all this is to darken our birthright as self-empowered individuals, sovereign and free, and that the future of this planet is in our hands and our co-creation ability? Could it be that it is time to take our power back from any outside force and remember our true essence and that we are God? The answers lie within your own very hearts. So, hi everyone. I am Hara Katsiki and I'm here with Priscilla Lewis, as always, for another episode of Stargate to Source. We are very happy to connect with you once again. Priscilla, I'm so happy to connecting with you and discussing our exciting subject for today. So, yes, today we decided to talk about a subject that might not might not satisfy everyone in some way. It's a rather, let's say, controversial subject. We are going to give our perspective, our views on it, and this is just some food for thought. This is just some another way to see our reality, and perhaps give you invite you to ponder and make up your own mind. Right, Silla?
Absolutely, that's what we do, Hara. You know, it's always good to have a healthy debate and not just say something is black or white. It's all about providing perspectives and allowing you to think on a wider scale. You know, just don't limit your view to just one thing, that there are other possibilities and that it could be more than just one thing. And that's what's great about having these conversations with you.
Right. Amazing. Okay, so let us dive in.
Yeah, so I guess, you know, we always talk about what we want to discuss on these shows. And this morning, it just kind of resonated that we have to talk about how we are in control and how, if we are not in control, we're either giving our power away. And I feel like it's come to many of us, you know, a light bulb moment has gone off, and we've realized that's actually what we've been doing. So would you like to explain a bit more about how we've been doing that and maybe diving into the concepts from there?
Yeah. Okay, so mainly the subject of today is what I call hopium, and what does that mean? Why do we want to talk about that? So for me, hopium is like a drug, okay, and hopium is basically hope, giving hope to people, and giving them certain amount of expectation of some sort of how things will unfold and manifest. And we have seen this very intensely the last, especially the last months, but it has been going on for quite some time now. And mainly we want to discuss about this movement of so-called conspiracy theories and the insiders and all this intel that has been coming in, and also very strongly lately into our community, into the spiritual community. So I'm just getting goosebumps. So yeah, there are many groups, and we're not going to name them. I think most of you will be very aware of what we are talking about. Okay. So there are all these, there are so many groups. Some are groups of many people, movements, with certain letters of the alphabet. There are other individuals who call themselves insiders, and some have been named, also labeled as conspiracy theorists, and they have been coming out more and more predominantly the last months as things are folding quite intense, sharing information. So going back to the beginning, I heard this word somewhere, hopium, and I really loved it because it really resonated with what I had been sensing about what this might be, what might all this be, and it started to make sense, especially after the big event that many were expecting, that is connected to the elections in the US and how things were expected to be unfold. There was so much expectation of the good guys arresting the bad guys, and many other things that were being said that are supposed to happen. As we saw, none of them seemingly happened. Many people got very, very disappointed, angry, frustrated, and so on. Some people kept believing in this narrative and are still waiting for something to happen. No one knows what's going to happen. We cannot tell you what is going to happen. We're just going to share our view on this whole subject. So I will just perhaps I will just share something I found in a research I made earlier, and I will let you, Sila, to expand on that if you want.
Okay, sure.
So hope is the ability to hear the melody of the future, but faith is the courage to dance to it today. So the point I'm making here is that I am sensing that this movement is spreading hope, and hope is an expectation, right? So faith. So I want that through this video that we perhaps inspire people to look at these two different ideas and ways of being, and let themselves make up their own, let yourselves make up your own mind. So it's the one thing is the hope, and then there's the faith. So faith, for me, it says it is so now. Faith is this confidence, right? Hope is saying it could happen in the future. So faith is confidence, hope is expectation, and I let you, Sila, to take it from there.
Well, I love the way you've broken it down. I also have never heard of the word opium.
Hopium.
Hopium. And I think you know, if you add hope and opium, just what I just said, opium is a drug, obviously, and it's like hopium, it, what a perfect word to describe exactly what's going on, giving us hope, hope when we're actually all really needed. But it is also what some people describe as the save me complex. We need saving, and that is where we are giving our power away. But as well, this hopium is it a sense of we are, it's a drug like adrenaline. It's something we live off because, you know, we are expecting expectations, these amazing things to unfold and the world becoming the vision we want to see it to be. But I feel like we need to stop giving our power away and start bringing the vision to us, how we want to create our own world, instead of, it's like we are running before we are able to crawl. We are trusting and giving our energy in and our power, we're giving it to the people that we don't really know. I feel like we're not really doing our own research as well. It's like it's easier just to trust other people than taking the responsibility that we hold ourselves. And I feel now more than ever, Hara, is where every decision we make is going to be an important one, especially now, especially with the mass awakening. Now, I'm not going to deny that these figures that we are talking about, not naming names because there are so many out there spreading the word of hope, and secret governments and whistleblowers and conspiracy theories. But I feel like it has awoken a lot of people. Is awoken the right word? We have become aware that something bigger is going on and we need to do our own research. We need to take control back. We need to listen to our intuition. We need to listen to our own instincts, because the old saying, the basic saying, if it sounds too good to be true, is it true? Is it real? What do you think about what I just said?
Yeah, no, I totally resonate. I wanted to point out something before we get misunderstood here.
Okay.
So we are putting we are focusing our attention talking about this movement of whistleblowers, insiders, conspiracy theories, and all that. So there is so much truth in this movement, and I don't want that people think for a second that we are just, what we are saying here is that all these things are fake or fraud. It's a very complex subject. I'm very confident that there are many people who are in this movement, who are speaking out, who are giving information, exposing information. Many of them are doing it from a very benevolent place, and they do expose things that are really happening on this planet, right? But within that movement, the question is, are all of these things that we're being told true? Why are they being told? And how do they make us, what do they do to us and for us and for where we want to get to? So we are not saying that everything that is being exposed right now is fake or is a lie. Of course, there's so much truth in all of that. What I'm seeing is like a game within a game within a game. There's so many agendas playing out, and but where I want to mainly help our viewers to just question themselves is, what does this really do to us? How does it serve us? Does it really give us what we need at this moment to manifest what is it that we want? Or does it perpetuate, perhaps, the fight, the division, the polarity, the confusion, the battle? There are a few things I want to say. Why am I questioning these movements that are giving so much hope to people, and all this information? If you look at the art of war, what is the art of war? I mean, I'm talking about what is really going on right now, because there is a war. There is a war on many levels right now, right? There's a war, the ultimate war of good and evil. There is, which is an illusion, but there we are in the third dimension, living it, and hopefully rising above that. We are in a war of information, in a war of perception, in a war of human rights,
censorship.
Yeah, of course. And so what I wanted to say is, in the art of war, what is the art of war? Is a strategy. So it's a very powerful game. And I want to put this question out to you. Do you think for a minute that if the people who claim to have the secrets of what is about to occur, and how the good guys are going to conquer the bad guys, and whatever, all these plans that they are, wanting us to believe and to trust the plan, and whatever, and this is going to happen and that is going to happen, and exactly when and how and where and why, to question this. Do you think that we would have this possibility to have this information if it was a secret? Because if we know, then the other side also knows. So this doesn't serve them, right? It doesn't serve the game. It doesn't serve the purpose. I mean, the ultimate art of being strategic in a war is the element of surprise. So if the enemy knows what is going to happen, then it doesn't work. So this is something that I thought about recently, and it really made me question. And then the question after this is, then why are we being given these breadcrumbs of what is supposed to happen? Could it be to confuse us? What do you think, Sila?
Very likely, Hara. It is easier to, like I said before, it's easier to trust someone else than to trust ourselves. Is it to manipulate us? Is it in the big plan to, make us do things in increments, and then before we know it, we have gone so far that there is no way of going back? I feel like for me is, instead of overthinking things, how do I feel right now? How is this, like you said, how is this situation helping me? And what is within my power that I can do that would make my world that I'm living in right now, my life, a better one? Because all of us are now struggling on many different levels, and it's come to a point where our struggles have become to such a degree, emotionally, physically, psychologically, whatever that struggle may be, that we need to come to a realization that we cannot just trust these organizations. We cannot just continue believing that things will just work out. Things won't just work out. We are the saviors. We are the people that need to take action and make the right decisions. And we are ultimately the people, through making the right decisions, that will be saving ourselves. And it's funny because I spoke to my dad the other day and I said to him, you know, because I'm South African, I'm in the UK, and I'd like to go home. And what am I going to have to go through to be able to get onto that plane and go home? What sacrifices am I going to have to make? And I said to him, how far are you willing to go, Dad? Are you willing to make those sacrifices? And we know what we're talking about, right? The things they want us to take, the things they want us to wear, the tests they want us to do. And he said, well, I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. I said, but what if they say you can't go anywhere? And he's like, well, then I'm not going anywhere. And that is an ultimate sacrifice that we are going to have to make, instead of just bowing down and saying, you know what, I don't have any power, I don't have any say, because you do. And if every single person, every single individual says the same thing and say, you know what, it's my freedom that I'm talking about. It is years of fighting, of people losing their lives, of people sacrificing to have given you these freedoms and these rights. For now, the pivot point where you're going to say, I'm just going to give it all away. These are huge decisions that we are going to have to make. And it's decisions we shouldn't be making lightly. And I feel there are still far too many people that are misinformed. So I hope, you know, that brought some insight to your question.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I'm honestly questioning this main quote from several groups, from a certain group, specifically the trust the plan.
Absolutely, trust the plan. What plan?
Yeah.
I haven't seen a plan.
Well, yeah, there is a plan, but the thing is that it just nothing has happened basically. So it's a formula that is like, oh, you know, you just trust the plan, just sit back, relax, enjoy the show, and we're gonna make everything happen for you. You just have to trust the plan. And it's like a come and save me diversion.
It makes me think of a bad relationship. You know, when you are in a terrible relationship and you know you need to leave, and the other partner just says, don't worry, I'm going to fix things. Things are going to be better next month, or things are going to be better soon.
Yeah.
And they just never get better. They never, ever change.
And it's a constant perpetuation of, wait, no, it is going to happen. It is going to change. Just sit and wait.
Absolutely. And then what happens with sitting ducks that just keep waiting, that just keep following, you know, those people who keep saying everything's going to be fine, follow the plan. So are we becoming, in that awful word that everyone keeps using, sheep? Are we becoming the followers instead of the leaders, taking control back? And that is what this video is about. And I think that is such an amazing analogy that we just use, because in a typical relationship, I know that both men and women get abused, so let's not get into that. But it takes the abuser to be abused something like a dozen times before they say, okay, I'm going now. This is it. I can't take anymore. But it means that they'll be going back 11, 12 times, right? So they're willing to put themselves through this again and again and again and again. And psychologically, that is where they have us. It's a psychological game.
Yeah, and it's a very advanced game, especially how it has infiltrated the spiritual community, because the trick is that they serve it with a big amount of truth and then an amount of misconception, deception of some sort, and in order to serve what it is that they need to serve, their purposes. And the thing is that with people that are in the so-called spiritual community, I've noticed there's so much naivety. There's just so much naivety, because they use a very classic trick, which is they say people what they want them to hear. And of course, who does want to hear that the bad guys are going to be determined in some way or another. That's why we're here eventually, right? Everybody wants that, whoever is aware of what's going on some level. So it's very, very tricky. And ultimately, what I think it does is taking our focus outside of us and project it into something external. And what we want to remind people here, right, is to remember who we truly are. This is like this game is a multidimensional game, very advanced game, and as we are awakening, this is what we all have to remember, that it's us that have the power. It's us that are going to change the world, and the change comes from within and then being manifested into our external reality as a group, as a collective. So we all have right now to remember who we are, what we are able of doing, and focus on that instead of focusing and hoping that someone else, a certain group, X, Y, Z, is going to save us. Because yes, maybe there are some who are trying to save us, but ultimately that's not how the game is working. This is not how this game is working. We have to remember the rules of the game, and so we can play it in a successful way.
Yeah, I also feel like there's a split. We are seeing the split, right, from the head of state, leaders, to us here on the ground, and then we see a divide again between friends and family, everyone believing different things. And I feel there is this divide that's taking place. And I also see this divide with the older generation and the younger generation, because the older generation, we are happy to not have this technology. We are happy to just meet people face to face, meet people the old fashioned way, get out in nature, let's just connect. And the younger generation have been brought up with technology. They have been brought up with their lives being made simpler with technology, where we would like to get our hands dirty, we'd like to fix things ourselves with our hands. And so you have the divide there. And I also feel like the struggle is going to come in with the younger generation, because they want life to be made easier for them, because that's the way they've been brought up. So is that also the struggle we are facing here with the younger generation giving their power away because they don't want to think for themselves? And I don't want to sound negative here, and I don't want to put them all in the same category either, but I have to be realistic. Like, are we getting to a point where we are saying, let artificial intelligence infiltrate our human society to such a degree? Because that's what's happening when we talk about censorship. That is what's happening when we talk about misinformation and all these subliminal messages that are taking place. And
yeah, that's a good point. Yes, and AI is playing a huge part in all of this, and it's a big it's a big
subject. It's a big topic, and it's something that people really haven't wrapped their heads around, although they have been drip feeding us the information, like plant in chips to have access to your building and buy your coffee and everything you can do with your phone right now. And that's where it all started, with a phone, with the tracking. I really believe that it's come to a point where we are becoming commodity. We are becoming information that can be bought, can be sold, and that is also a system of control.
Yeah, it's a big threat. It's a big threat to our world, I think. And I think there's nothing wrong with technology. It depends how you use it. It's yet another tool.
Exactly.
The problem here is that it seems like the controllers, however we want to call them, seems like they would love to use it to control us, and that we serve technology. And this is not how it should be. In higher, in advanced civilizations outside our planet, they still do use technology. It's part in many civilizations and races. It's part of their life, of their culture, but it's in a symbiosis. It's in a way that it serves them from a very conscious place, removed without element of control.
Yeah. And I also feel it's, you know, do you have leaders that serve themselves, or do you have leaders that serve the population, the people? And that is also where we could see technology being of benefit, you know, or being controlled. So yeah, that exactly what you said. You know, you do have both sides, but I feel like we do want to have all these good guys that come in and save us. And realistically, I would say stop thinking so much. Just return to your feeling state. You know, how do you feel when you listen to this information? Does it resonate to you? Why does it resonate with you? And always question.
Sorry, I interrupted you. How does it make you feel? Deeply, right? Because I was in this rabbit hole for a few months, the last months, and you know what? I catch myself have so much anxiety. And you know, I mean, it was like the rabbit with the carrot. I needed to get like rescue drops for me sometimes, because I would just get, you know, I was on Telegram just getting one notification after the other, you know, bam, boom, bam, boom, 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 this happened, that happened, and then this happened, blah, blah, blah. And it was just like, whoa, wait a minute, like how, just pause for a moment, check in with yourself. How do you feel now? Is that how you want to feel? Is that what you want to vibrate? Because it's all about vibration, it's all about energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
everything I watch, everything, it doesn't matter how informative it is or not. And it's like throughout my spiritual development and journey, there may be information that I listened to really early on my journey that didn't resonate, but they resonate now. And again, you know, just listen with discernment, just listen with where you are at and what makes sense to you and what you understand. And if you don't understand something, and you know, you are bombarded with information and repetitive information as well, why? Ask why, always. You know, don't just take information for what it is. And especially with now, like, they are putting subliminal messages, or not even subliminal, it's in your face all day, all the time, you know, listening to music on these on online music channels. I don't want to say names, or listen to audiobooks, or within every single advert, save lives, wear this, be safe, don't do this, new normal, we're all struggling. Like, that is what we're creating, a new normal. We're all struggling, a new normal, you know, wear this, do this, save lives, like and it's like, wow, since when have we become the disease, you know? And I think we need to take a step back and just think about it. You know, how much are we listening to these messages, and how much is it being ingrained into our psyche?
Yeah, this is the matrix. The best thing you can do is to turn your TVs off, your mainstream media. But here we are now just shedding some light on alternative media and social media and all the other ways of communication that is not mainstream, which is also, as we are being pointing out, maybe it's infiltrated somewhere. So we have to be very, very careful, because the game is becoming more and more advanced. Yeah. So how about we give our viewers some
tips?
Some tip, yeah. What should we do? You know, because I mean, and this is a question for us too. You know, for me, for you, for everyone. Like, okay, we are sharing now a perspective. I don't know whether it's true or not. Ultimately, excuse me, that's what we feel. We want to share it. We want to make you guys think and question for yourself everything, literally everything that you're being fed on your external world. So what do we do? Do we just sit back and wait? Do we go out there and protest and just make our voices heard, or what?
It's really difficult. Like, you know, I can't tell anyone to go and protest, or, you know, you have to do what's right for you in that moment, depending on where you are in the world, what country you are at, and in what way are you being pushed to stand up for your rights. But right now, for me, on, you know, me personally, I've been feeling guilty, actually. I think technology is a drug as well, you know, being on social media all the time and getting into, you know, just endless scrolling, you know. And I feel like it's been hard to just step away from it, and I've been feeling guilty, actually. But you know what, people have been saying, why aren't you posting so much, why aren't you as active? And it's like, you know, I'll post when I feel like it. I just feel like I need a break from it all right now. So stepping away from social media has been a great benefit. Also, down to the basics, pick up a book and read. Yes, maybe sometimes I'm lazy and I listen to an audiobook as well as having a physical book to read. Oftentimes it would just be trying to relax or write. You know, when I feel inspired to write, I write an article as well. It takes you away from all the information that's bombarded, that gets bombarded onto you, or you are bombarded by. But yeah, just stepping away from television and computers and social media platforms, just getting back in nature, back to me, has been a great benefit. You know, it has led me to meditate more, listen to myself more, just having the house quiet or having lovely subtle music in the background. My home has really become my sanctuary, and really we all have had to adjust. It's been a year or almost a year now, and still we are still trying to adjust. I am still trying to adjust. And there are days where I still struggle to fill my days, and I'm thinking, okay, what can I do now? Because it's either I'm in the house, or maybe I have to go do shopping, but I don't have to do that every day, or I go take myself for a walk. There is nothing else to do, is there? So many are drawn to just be on social media all the time. And, you know, even that gets like boring. It's like, oh, makes me feel brain dead. What have you been doing, Hara?
Well, I guess a bit of everything. I went through all the, how to say, I went through the roller coaster of it all.
Yeah, we all have. We all have.
Uh,
We all do.
Absolutely, yeah. So what I'm realizing is that I need to, and perhaps we all need to just keep, not keep, excuse me, to reconnect with ourselves. We'll just look inward, connect with our inner world. Remember who we truly are. Remember that we are the ones that we have been waiting for. We are the ones who are directing this game. It has been told from so many teachers and so many seers, but we still don't get it. And this is the nature of this game, of course, but it is our time now to step forward, to really embody it, to really understand it, and just do it, just you know, just manifest it. So I think for us it's important to keep our vibrations high. Choose in which frequency do we want to resonate, to vibrate into. Do we choose high vibrational states, joy, excitement, or do we choose fear? We all always have this ability to do so. It is, yes, it's hard. Yes, it's it can be difficult, but the more we choose to identify with what is happening outside, of course it's more challenging, but we can always return to our inner temple, return to our hearts, connect to our hearts, to our inner wisdom. When you connect to that place, you know that all is well, you know that everything is as it is supposed to be. You connect with your eternal light, with your God essence, and you know that you are the one who is actually creating all of this and observing and at the same time. And I think the time is now for us, light workers, starseeds, however we want to label ourselves, the ones who are aware, the ones who came into these bodies at this incredible time to make that shift happen. We are millions with the same mission. I get goosebumps to shift this world, and it is an inside job. It is an inside job, and some of us will choose to step out and be the you know the ones who are going to do the job in the external world. You know, some will be the ones who are going to protest, to speak the truth on mainstream, not mainstream. They unfortunately cannot do that there, but in alternative media and so on. So yes, some will choose to act in the physical, but I think as we know that it's all about the vibration and the frequency. What we can do individually, each and every one of us, is to hold that knowing inside of us. The faith, coming back to the beginning, the faith, the confidence, the knowing that it's going to work out. I have no doubt. We've talked about it in other videos as well. I personally, when I connect to my heart, when I connect to my guides, I have no doubt whatsoever that we are going to make this, that things are going to change, and we are going to see we're going to see manifested what we planned before we incarnate into this world. And no one knows how long it will take, right? I'm not a prophet, I'm not a psychic, but I use my intuition to tap into future timelines and see, get a glimpse of possibilities of what and when and how. And what I have sensed is that, I know many won't like it, what I'm about to share, but I have sensed that perhaps this transition is not going to be as fast as we want it to be, and it's not going to be as easy as we wish it would be. It might take some time. I'm sensing a few years. It's not going to be. And again, we have to be careful what we say, because we manifest what we are thinking. We're manifesting our own reality and we're experiencing it. So, but that's what I'm sensing for our collective situation. I'm seeing as if I don't see light coming from the external, from our external situation of the restrictions that are being placed upon and all this story before 2024. I don't mean that we're going to be in lockdown until then, but this whole movement of this so-called virus and all that, I don't see us coming out within the next month or 2 months or 3 months. And then again, we're going to have the the financial challenges. This is another huge topic, right? We can perhaps dive into it on another episode. But the system is so huge. This I mean, this like the system that we operate through is so old, and the roots are so deep.
Absolutely, you're spot on there, and I totally agree with you, Hara. I see exactly the same. It's going to take a few years to get, you know, back into things, whatever that may be, you know, and things are changing. Things are not going to be the same, but it doesn't mean that things won't be better. You know, we have to stand up for that, and it is going to be challenging. It's not going to be easy. A lot of us are going to have to go through some big challenges, and we are going, our morals are going to be, you know, we're going to be down. Some of us are going to be challenged. Our beliefs are going to be challenged. Just be aware of this, you know, and it's not to scare you. It's about, you know, it's about awakening. It's about pushing our boundaries. It's about, you know, how many years have you now lived day in, day out? Go work, pay your bills, come home, sleep. Realistically, how long was this going to be able to continue? You know, change was coming. I was able to see it as a young child, actually, and my mom was just like gobsmacked, because she's like, you know, I actually believe this kid. I think she's onto something. So even from a really young age, I was able to see things my parents never really thought about.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to say something. I feel like listening to music is something that I've been doing a lot lately, and music holds a vibration, you know, within itself, and it lifts you up, and it inspires, or it calms you down. You know, it has so many purposes, and even though I don't play an instrument as such, I wish I did, but I do love listening to people play. So if you, the listener, play an instrument, please post your links below so we could listen and share. You know, in the first lockdown, there was these groups on Facebook that was created, Rock the Lockdown, and everyone was singing in their living rooms and playing their instruments and the music. And there was other groups as well, like Views from My Window. I absolutely loved it, because it you know, it lifts that vibration and that energy that we need, right? So please do post that. I'd love to hear you play. And you know, you may just be making a difference without even realizing. And that's the thing, you know, just me and you making this video, it may just be what someone needs to hear or see, and you don't know the impact you're making by just following your own passion and your own joy. So don't give up on that. Continue doing it, even though you don't see the results necessarily. Continue following your passion.
Thank you, Phila.
You're welcome.
So yeah, let us how to say stay away from dangerous drugs like opium. Let us grow more and more faith, knowing that we got this.
Yeah, we do. We just need to be there for each other. Just be there for your friends and your family. Check in every week, every day, see if they're okay. It's okay to not be okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes, that's a very important thing that you say now. And it's a whole another huge subject about how how do we excuse me, how do we process everything that is happening, especially the last year? How do we process it? Do we suppress it somewhere and pretend that all is well in the physical level, or do we allow ourselves to let it run through us as energy does want to flow naturally, and allow whatever is that arises to honor it and to just sit with it and and then watch it being released.
Mm.
Very important.
Yeah,
And
get it out your system.
yeah. And I'm sure there are many empaths listening. So if you're an empath, you also have been perhaps being influenced here and there by the collective fear that has been growing. So we need to take extra care of ourselves, because we are needed, and we are also going to be needed. I'm feeling more and more, Sila. Everyone who is service to others and is in one way or another assisting other people, mentally, emotionally, physically, energetically. Therapists, healers are going to get very busy and are going to be very needed, because as we will be going through this transition, I get goosebumps. As we will be going through these transitions, we just started now. I feel that this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. There are gonna be many people that are gonna get very challenged, right? Because imagine it's hard for us who are aware, we can see through the veil, who can see through the illusion, and who somewhere in our hearts we know that everything is gonna be okay and we're gonna make it. But imagine the people who have no idea. That we have friends, family, we have neighbors, we have, there's like millions of people who, because many things are going to be exposed, they are being exposed, and they're going to be exposed more and more, big time. I mean, they're
absolutely, yeah, absolutely
challenged. So we need to be there for them. We need to, that's why we're here. That's why we're here to help. Like, how many sessions did you have? And you ask herself, why is he here? Why is he here? And he is here to help. She's here to help.
Absolutely. I also feel like as a collective, we are helping purging, right? What's happening. And I don't know, please validate if this is something that you're feeling as well. So I would be just sitting at night and I'd be maybe reading my book or just, doing something, nothing particular, but I'd be in my own space. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I would have this feeling of anxiety come up out of nowhere. And all of a sudden, I'd have this fear and this panic. And I've no reason to feel this, but I do. And I feel like many of us are feeling this right now. And you think, where is this coming from? What is happening? And you try and tune in. But when your nervous system is so under stress, and that's the only way I can describe it. It's like my nervous system is under pressure, and those fight and flight instincts kick in, and you're like, what's happening? So are you experiencing that as well?
I do sometimes. Yeah, it comes and goes.
Yeah, it comes and goes. Definitely, yeah, but just out of nowhere. And I think that is the purging I'm talking about. Like, collectively, there are many sensitives that would feel what is happening on a much deeper level than others that don't.
Yeah, certainly. And which brings us to also other physical symptoms people have, which are connected not only with what is happening on this plane, but also in the energies that are coming from our galactic core, washing our planet. I don't know if you have seen the Schumann resonance the last months. The numbers are staggering. Staggering, really, like, and with so much going on, like, you just don't know where to look first. I mean, there's just like a flood of information. We are being like overstimulated, of course, from information. But there are also, that's one more reason why we should practice self-care and
self-care is so important. So especially feeling more tired, wanting more naps.
Oh yeah, Absolutely. That's me. That's me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too recently. Yeah. So take that nap when you feel you need it.
Yeah. And you do nothing and you're just tired, you know.
Yeah.
But you know what? We are processing so much in so many levels, you know. Like I sometimes often like wake up in the morning and I'm already like, oh, okay, I'm tired.
And then there's nights where you can't sleep.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm. It's just our systems readjusting, I think, you know.
Yeah.
We have completely been thrown out of our own resonance. You know, we've been completely turned upside down and thrown into the deep end, as they say, and they're like, okay, well, swim now. So I guess that's what we're all going through.
Yeah.
Oh well, what a wonderful session today. I think a wonderful discussion, and hopefully many will be able to take away from today.
Yeah, I hope so too. I just want to say to everyone that ultimately the truth lies within your own very hearts. Trust what is inside of your sacred heart. There is all you need to know. We are just sharing yet another perspective for you to maybe include in your research. And I love you guys so much. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for supporting us.
I know we're closing our session today, but I just got reminded about, you know, I know we spoke about groups today about giving our power away to the save me dynamic, and I feel like I want to say, please apply that as well to people who say extraterrestrials are coming in to save us. Yeah, so I want to say that as well. So apply that to everything, not just one thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm spot on. I mean, that's just another way to come and save me.
Yeah. Just trust yourself. That will be the message always. Sweet and simple, short. Trust yourself.
Yeah.
Oh well. So Hara, if someone wants to have a intuitive guidance session with you or a quantum healing hypnosis session with you, where can they find you?
Oh, that would be lovely. So my website is qhht.cloud, and there's all the info, contacts, everything you might need. And where can people find you, Sila?
Well, I am at ChrysillaLewis.com. You can find me on there, and I'm also on YouTube. But mentioning YouTube, Hara is at the moment doing a fantastic series on something called Fantastic Creatures. Say fantastic creatures, and she has covered some amazing topics there already through hypnosis sessions, and that is also a great way maybe to pass your time and delve into these wonderful worlds of mystical creatures. And she's done a few already, so go check them out.
The last one was with Sila herself.
Yeah, we covered fairies, so if you're a fairy person.
So yeah, thank you for bringing this up. It's a very exciting project I'm delving into, and I think that was just perhaps one of the ways I wanted to bring some sparkling, shimmering, glittery light and high vibration and playfulness into our current situation. I think it's so much needed. So if you feel drawn, feel free to follow us in the magical realms.
Fantastic. Well, thank you everyone for watching and tuning in. Until next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.